Every single month, $202.90 gets taken right out of your Social Security check. You never see it, you never approved it, it just vanishes before the money hits your account. And in 2026, that premium jumped another $17.90. For the average retiree, the cost of living raise added about $56 a month, but after Medicare took its cut, the net gain was roughly $38. That is the squeeze millions of Americans are living in right now. But there are 4 government programs that can stop that deduction entirely. And according to AARP, roughly 6 million people who qualify for them right now have never applied. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which program fits your situation, the income limit down to the dollar, how to apply step by step, and what to do if your state tries to turn you away. If this is the kind of thing they should be teaching people instead of burying in paperwork, subscribe so you catch the next one. That $202.90 per month adds up to $2,434.80 a year. Gone, just from the Part B premium alone. But that's only the beginning of what Medicare costs you. There's the Part A hospital deductible, $1,736 every benefit period. The Part B deductible, $283 a year. Then you've got copays and coinsurance stacking up on every appointment, every procedure. And on top of all that, your prescription drug costs. One of these 4 programs covers all of it. Every premium, every deductible, every copay. And every single one of them, even the ones that only cover your premium, triggers a bonus benefit worth an estimated $5,700 a year on its own. We'll get to what that is. A study published in JAMA Network Open found that from 2018 to 2020, more than 40% of people who qualified for these programs never enrolled. Not because they didn't qualify, because nobody told them. So if your income is under $1,816 a month, you need to keep watching. And even if you're slightly above that number, there are income disregards that may still bring you under the limit. I'll explain those too. The first program, and the most generous, is QMB, Qualified Medicare Beneficiary. QMB covers your Part B premium. That's the $202.90 a month we've been talking about. It covers your Part A premium too, if you pay one. And then it goes further. It picks up all your Part A and Part B deductibles, coinsurance, and copays. Everything. To qualify in 2026, your monthly income needs to be at or below $1,350 as an individual. For a couple, it's $1,824. Those are the numbers for the 48 contiguous states and DC. Alaska is higher, $1,683 individual. Hawaii is $1,550. Say you're a retired worker pulling in $1,300 a month from Social Security. Under QMB, that Part B premium, gone. The $1,736 hospital deductible if you need a stay, covered. The $283 Part B deductible, covered. Every copay, every coinsurance charge Medicare throws at you, covered. And as we'll see in a few minutes, you'd also automatically get drug cost relief worth $5,700 a year. That's one application doing the work of several. There's also an asset limit, $9,950 for an individual, $14,910 for a couple. But what counts as an asset is not what most people assume. Your home, your car, those don't count. We're going to break that down in a few minutes because this is where millions of people knock themselves out of the running for no reason. To give you a sense of scale, more than 8 million people are already enrolled in QMB. That's 1 out of every 8 Medicare beneficiaries in the country. And something that catches a lot of people off guard, QMB works with Medicare Advantage too. Federal law prohibits all Medicare providers and Medicare Advantage suppliers from billing QMB enrollees for cost sharing, period. If you're on an Advantage plan and assumed this didn't apply to you, it does. More than half of Medicare beneficiaries are on Advantage plans now. If that's you, stay right here, because everything I'm about to cover still applies. QMB is the most generous of the 4 programs. But what if your income is above $1,350? That's where the next program picks up. SLMB stands for Specified Low Income Medicare Beneficiary. It covers one thing, your Part B premium. That's $202.90 a month, $2,434.80 a year. It does not cover deductibles, copays, or coinsurance. The income limit for SLMB is higher than QMB. You can earn up to $1,616 a month as an individual or $2,184 as a couple. If you're in Alaska, the individual limit jumps to $2,015. Hawaii, $1,856. Next up, QI, qualifying individual. Same coverage as SLMB, Part B premium only. But the income limit goes even higher, up to $1,816 a month for an individual, $2,455 for a couple. Alaska allows up to $2,265 individual. Hawaii, $2,086. Now, QI has one critical difference you need to know about. It's the only Medicare savings program funded on a first-come, first-served basis. Congress renews the funding every year. You have to reapply every year, and if you miss the window, someone else can take your spot. Priority does go to prior year QI enrollees, so if you're already in, you have an edge, but you still have to reapply. If you think you qualify for QI, apply as early in the year as possible. First-come funding means the sooner you're in, the better. The fourth program is QDWI, Qualified Disabled and Working Individual. This one is narrow. It covers only the Part A premium, which can run up to $565 a month for disabled workers under 65 who lost their premium-free Part A when they went back to work. The income limit is much higher, $5,405 a month, but the asset limit is tighter at $4,000 for an individual. So here's your income ladder. QMB covers you up to $1,350 a month. SLMB goes to $1,616. Q1 reaches $1,816. And remember, SLMB and Q1 still save you $2,434.80 a year in premiums alone. That's real money. But here's the part that trips up millions of people. It's probably the reason 6 million eligible Americans have never applied. The myth: I own my home, so I probably don't qualify. This is the single most common reason eligible people never apply, and it's wrong. Your primary residence is excluded from the asset test. Doesn't matter what it's worth. A $200,000 house, a $400,000 house, it does not count. Same for one vehicle, regardless of value. Household goods, personal effects, none of it counts. Burial funds up to $1,500 are off the table. An irrevocable prepaid funeral plan, any value, doesn't matter. The federal asset limit for QMB, SLMB, and Q1 is $9,950 for an individual, $14,910 for a couple. That means liquid assets, bank accounts, stocks, bonds, not your home, not your car. A MacPac study found that income-eligible MSP applicants typically hold few assets anyway. The Medicare Rights Center covered a new study in April 2026, reaching the same conclusion. Asset tests create bureaucratic costs without meaningful program savings. They screen out almost nobody who'd actually abuse the system, but they scare off millions who'd qualify. And it gets better. More than a dozen states plus Washington, D.C. have no asset test at all. In those states, only your income matters. The confirmed list includes Alabama, Arizona, Connecticut, Delaware, Louisiana, Maine, Massachusetts, Mississippi, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Vermont, Washington, and D.C. California is a special case. They removed their asset limit entirely from 2022 through 2025, but reinstated a limit of $130,000 starting January 2026. Still far more generous than the federal $9,950. Now let's talk about the income side, because there are disregards that push the real limit higher than the number on paper. Every state ignores the first $20 of your monthly income. So if the QMB limit says $1,350, your Social Security check can actually be $1,370 and you still qualify. If you work part-time, there's an even bigger break. The first $65 of earned income is excluded, plus half of whatever's left after that. So if you earn $500 a month from a part-time job, only $217.50 counts toward your income limit. And some states are more generous still. Household size, the way your state defines dependents, local disregards, these vary. If you're supporting a family member or you're borderline on income, ask your state Medicaid office about their specific rules. You might qualify when the federal numbers say you don't. Bottom line, states set their own rules, and many are more generous than the federal minimums. Always apply, even if you think you're borderline. You might be surprised. Remember that bonus benefit I mentioned earlier? The one worth an estimated $5,700 a year? Every single Medicare savings program, QMB, SLMB, QI, and QDWI, automatically enrolls you in extra help for your Part D prescription drugs. No separate application, no extra paperwork. It just happens. And here's what extra help gives you in 2026. Your Part D deductible, normally $590, is waived completely. That means you don't pay a dime before your drug coverage kicks in. Without extra help, you'd owe that $590 out of pocket before your plan covers anything. With it, coverage starts from day one. Your generic drug copay drops to $5.10. Brand name drugs, $12.65. Your Part D plan premium, waived. And once your total drug cost hit $2,100 for the year, your copays drop to zero for the rest of the year. No gap period, no donut hole, zero. The Social Security Administration estimates extra help is worth about $5,700 per year per person. Now do the math for QMB, SLMB, and QI enrollees. Part B premium savings, $2,434.80. Extra help drug savings, $5,700. That's roughly $8,135 a year from a single application. And here's what most people miss. Even SLMB and QI, the programs that only cover your Part B premium, trigger the full extra help benefit, every bit of it. The drug savings from enrolling in one of these programs are often larger than the premium savings that got you to apply in the first place. There's another angle worth knowing about extra help. On its own, it has an income limit of $1,995 a month. Most MSP enrollees fall under that threshold anyway. But the real advantage of the MSP path is this. You fill out one application and extra help comes along for free. No second form, no second eligibility check. The MSP application does the work for you. So you know the programs, you know the income limits, and you know the savings are bigger than you thought. Now, how do you actually apply? You apply through your state Medicaid office. In most states, that means the County Department of Social Services. Some states let you apply online, over the phone, or on paper. And here's where people get confused. Medicare is federal. Medicaid is state. These programs are called Medicare savings programs, but they're administered by Medicaid. So when you call Medicare and ask them about it, they'll send you to your state Medicaid office. CMS has documented this confusion as a primary friction point. People don't understand why a Medicare benefit runs through Medicaid. Now you know, that's just how it works. Don't let it slow you down. There's a shortcut not everyone knows about. You can also submit your application at your local Social Security office. They'll forward it to the state Medicaid agency for you. The form is the CMS Model Application. SSA has copies. What you'll need to bring: your Medicare card, front and back, proof of income, your Social Security award letter, pension letters, pay stubs if you work, proof of your date of birth, driver's license or birth certificate, and if your state has an asset test, your recent bank statements. If your state has no asset test, you can skip the bank statements entirely. After you submit, the state has 45 days to give you a decision. If 45 days pass and you haven't heard anything, follow up with the Medicaid office. Don't wait and hope. Call them. Now, I need to warn you about something so you don't panic. After you're approved, your Part B premium may keep coming out of your Social Security check for up to 90 days. This is normal. It's a sync delay between the Medicaid system and Social Security. Do not assume you were denied. Do not give up. The reimbursement catches up. And if you're applying late in the year, know this. SLMB can reimburse premiums from up to 3 months in the previous calendar year. QI can reimburse within the same calendar year. QMB coverage may begin as early as the month you apply. One huge advantage of these programs: there's no enrollment window. You can apply any month of the year. Medicare Advantage has open enrollment periods. MSP doesn't. The only exception is QI, where applying early matters because of that first-come funding. If you want free one-on-one help with your application, call your state's SHIP counselor. SHIP stands for State Health Insurance Assistance Program. These people are federally funded. They have zero financial interest in your decisions. They're not insurance brokers. They're not selling you anything. Find yours at shiphelp.org or call 1-800-MEDICARE and ask for a referral. You applied, you got approved. But what happens if your doctor sends you a bill anyway? Federal law says this clearly. All Medicare participating providers are prohibited from billing QMB enrollees for any cost sharing. Deductibles, coinsurance, copays, all of it. No exceptions. Even if the provider says, "I don't take Medicaid," if they accept Medicare, they are bound by this rule. And yet, a CMS study found that nearly 45% of QMB beneficiaries were improperly billed at least once. About 1/3 of those people actually paid the bill, money they legally did not owe. Why does this keep happening? Because QMB status doesn't appear on the standard Medicare card, the red, white, and blue one. It only shows on your Medicaid card. A lot of patients don't know to show both cards. A lot of providers don't check. So from now on, every appointment, every visit, bring your Medicare card and your Medicaid card. Hand them both to the front desk before they even ask. That one habit can prevent most billing problems. So here's what you do if a provider bills you and you're on QMB. First, do not pay. Second, tell the provider you are in the QMB program. Third, show them your Medicaid documentation. And if they keep pushing, call 1-800-MEDICARE. Providers face civil penalties of up to $20,000 per improperly billed item, plus an assessment of up to 3 times the amount they claimed. That's not a slap on the wrist. CMS has the authority to enforce it. CMS and the CFPB issued a joint enforcement statement on exactly this problem in 2024. That 45% number came from a 2015 study, and provider education on this issue is still inadequate. Wrongful billing is not ancient history, it's happening right now. And what if the state itself denies your application? Here's what you do. A denial is not the end. It's step one in a process that includes a free, fair hearing with a neutral decision maker. Wrongful denials happen. They're documented and they're common. The National Council on Aging says it straight. Don't necessarily take no for an answer. There's a case on file. Ms. G, 77 years old, denied because the Medicaid office used outdated income limits, an error the applicant had no way of knowing about. After she got help with an appeal, the denial was overturned. She's not alone. The Medicare Rights Center documented another case. A counselor helped restore MSP coverage that had been wrongly terminated. The beneficiary said it simply. You listened sympathetically. You did what needed to be done. That's what good advocacy looks like. And there are people who call the helpline every single year, terrified they'll miss a Medicaid renewal notice and lose their coverage. The anxiety around these deadlines is real, but the help is there. Your rights. Request a Medicaid fair hearing within 30 to 90 days of receiving your denial letter. Check the letter for your state-specific deadline. Once you request the hearing, the state has 90 days to hold it and give you a decision. If you have an urgent medical need, say you can't afford your medications without extra help kicking in, you can request an expedited hearing and the state has to fast-track it. You don't have to do this alone. SHIP counselors will help you prepare, and in some states, they can attend the hearing with you or even on your behalf. The Medicare Rights Center also runs a national helpline, 800-333-4114. If your income changes, say your COLA pushes you just over the limit one year, but then the new poverty guidelines bring you back under, you can reapply at any time. There's no penalty for a previous denial. And this matters now more than ever. H.R. 1 froze the federal enrollment simplification rules until 2034. That means the manual application is the only path for the foreseeable future. Knowing how to apply correctly and how to fight back if you're denied is not optional. 4 programs. An income ladder that goes higher than most people think, and total savings, premiums plus drug costs, that can clear $8,000 a year. The application is simple, the help is free, and the law is on your side if anyone tries to charge you what you don't owe. The biggest barrier to these programs isn't the income limit. It isn't the asset test. It isn't the paperwork. It's the fact that 6 million eligible people simply don't know they exist. Now you know. The question is what you're going to do with it. Check your income against the limits. QMB, $1,350 a month. SLMB, $1,616. QI, $1,816. And remember that $20 disregard. Your Social Security check can be $20 above those numbers and you still qualify. Call your state Medicaid office or walk into your local Social Security office. Bring your Medicare card, your income proof, and your bank statements. If you're in one of the states with no asset test, Alabama, Arizona, Connecticut, Delaware, Louisiana, Maine, Massachusetts, Mississippi, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Vermont, Washington, or DC, skip the bank statements. If they deny you, do not walk away. Request a fair hearing. Call SHIP at shiphelp.org or 1-800-MEDICARE. Call the Medicare Rights Center at 800-333-4114. You have a right to appeal, and the help is free. If you're watching this for a parent, send them this video right now. Or better yet, sit down with them and walk through the application together. This could save them over $8,000 a year. Remember that $202.90 coming out of your Social Security check every single month? Now you know how to stop it. If this helped you, subscribe. We break down benefits like this every week so you never miss what you're owed.